Hop in, babe, we're going.
Woohoo!
Well, your new friends from the Netherlands used to have a house left into the mouse. Got an old RV for Penelope, she's in 1983. Well, your new friends from the Netherlands, bad Penelope. Pat loves taking pictures and Pat has left design. Penelope loves driving till the end of time. Well, RV-licious, if you like a vibe, please subscribe, please subscribe. Attack of the Lawnmower Robots! Eating healthy for a change. Hey buddies. So we're back in a familiar spot when Lutjegast. Anyway, as you can see, there's two camper spots here. And one is occupied by Penelope, our sweetie. There's the other sweetie. And the other one is taken up by a very small camper, as you can see. It's the Kia Picanto camper.
Yes, never seen that before. Eh?
There's a lot of empty parking spaces. I easily count more than 10. And there's only two camper spots, so it's a mystery to me why someone would park their car in the camper spot. Hello. Are they belling for me? Are those bells for me?
Yes, the bells are delicious.
Two peacocks.
Interesting. The chicken following us.
Chicken is following us. Hey. Hey guys. Hey, the camera. And some deer. Don't know if you guys see this, but the peacock has babies. Where they go?
Mama peacock. Hello, Mama peacock.
And the deer are grazing.
Hello there. Guess where we are?
We're at front of the Klooshoofdijk. The Afsluitdijk. This is a view. This is a day spot, but we heard because there's a big sign saying no overnighting. We wanted to check this place out because it's yeah, it's not one it's not an official spot, but sort of a spot that's been here a long time.
Yep.
So we talked to a couple of RVers. They were both in their 80s, and if they recommend it, if they stood here a week, then I guess it's fine if Evolution stays here for a day. This is the sign, and as you can see, it's huge, as in unmissable,
This one was not missed.
unrecognizable.
Yes.
It says, welcome at the day recreation area. Own risk, at your own risk. Night stay is not allowed. If you want to stay at night, go to a campsite in the vicinity. Waste in the bin, it says, but they already removed the bins. So, to discourage
People to stay the night.
people to stay the night. And that's Penelope. It's a great spot, as you can see.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Yes.
It's awesome, right?
Definitely.
And to discourage people from staying, they removed the bins. There are some poles in the ground without bins. But it's a great spot.
It's awesome.
And
Legalize it.
yeah, once they legalize it, we're gonna stand here. So we're not as brave as the 80-year-old couple who stood here for a week, defying everything.
So, and we got a fine today for a speeding ticket.
For a speeding ticket. This is the picture of us being speeding, or at least this photograph says we're driving 78 kilometers an hour, where 70 was allowed. So buddies, it doesn't seem to be getting better than this. I mean, look at that. The sea has crawled back completely. So up to there where the boats are. And at some point it will come back again. So if you want to hunt for treasure, now's the time. Oh, I already found my treasure. The only thing you have here is a noise from the road, but it doesn't really bother us. But further than that, it's quiet.
My lovely boyfriend is helping someone jumpstart their camper. Unfortunately, we couldn't help them because our battery is under the chair, which had to be screwed loose, and that would be too much trouble. Yay!
So buddies, the camper behind me is starting again. Thanks to the help of one of the other camperers, because turns out the battery of Penelope, yeah, of course, is under the driver's chair, and that means you have to screw off the chair. But we don't have tools for that, so we couldn't screw off the chair to connect the batteries from the both of the camper vans. But luckily another camper buddy with a car, or a car buddy, was friendly enough to help. And that's what's nice about being on the road, is meeting helpful people, or helping people,
Exactly.
even if you can't help them. Well buddies, this is a great honor today. We have the best handyman from the Netherlands, the fulltime RV handyman, Herman van Leven en Camper Channel, with his wife Gea. Meeting up with him today, and he's gonna do some work. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna sort the table in the right size.
Yeah. This is his tool shed.
Kabel, dus je kan verder niet opsporen. En het gekke is, dus hier zijn 2 draadjes aan. Ja?
Ja.
Ja, zie je die zekering, die werkt wel.
We leven in een camper channel, Herman en Gea, in their new rig. And they're gonna depart. Wat een geluid, hè? What a powerful engine. Wow. Look how beautiful round these edges are made of our table. Really impressive. We can walk in our hall path again.
Yes.
Thanks to Herman. Herman.
Awesome.
Am I in the dark or am I in the light?
You're in the light.
Hello, buddies. So,
Hello.
we were just about to arrive at one of our favorite locations, camper spots. And it was pretty busy. And there was one spot open. Behind me was another camper, but I was first. So I drove to the spot as fast as I could, as fast as Penelope could.
Yeah.
And Petra here said all the connections were full hookups.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, then let's drive off again to another spot. But then when I drove past on my way out, I noticed that one pole had an opening. So I thought, let's drive back before the other camper, who was right behind me, takes up the free spot. So I drove back, but I wasn't maneuvered into a comfortable position. So I scratched one of the plastic bumpers of a camper while I was driving backwards very slowly. So I heard a little bump, and Petra didn't even hear it.
I didn't hear anything.
And the people in the camper also noticed that I bumped into them very softly. A little bump, but it was a bump nonetheless. So, and the other camper was waiting for me to see what I would do. Would I pull in the spot or would I pull out? So because I hit this camper, I thought, well, then let's just move Penelope aside, so the other one can park in that spot, while I just park on there was a parking lot next to the camper spot for cars. So I thought, okay, let's park there. So I drove off, and it's just like a U-turn, and then I wanted to stop on the parking lot because rule 1 is before you get out of the vehicle, get to a safe position. So I was like in the middle of the camper spot, in the middle of the driving path, and that's not a safe position to get out, and blocking all the traffic, incoming and outgoing. So I drove the U-turn while the other camper passed me and went into that spot. But the guy from the camper that I hit thought I was making a run for it with Penelope. I mean, Penelope is slow as snails. I made a U-turn, and I saw the man, meanwhile, running over the grass. It was a hill, so he climbed the hill, and it was very steep. And then he ran down the hill, very steep. And then while I was pulling into the parking lot and stopping and turning off the engine, just to check out the damage and fill in the paperwork, he fell off the hill. He fell off the hill, and he face planted onto the road, and his cell phone fell out of his hands and bounced on the road also. So he was so worried that I would drive off that risked his life for a gentle scratch. So he ran off the hill as fast as he could, trying to catch me on camera, I suppose. So there was no reason I wanted to drive off. I just wanted to park out of the way on a safe spot. So, but he didn't know that, of course. So he ran up the hill, ran down the hill, lost his balance, fell flat on his face on the road. It was a man. He looked like he was in his 70s, but he was very quick. And he risked his life. He ran onto the road. I mean, it was a road where traffic also drove, and like he was wanted to block me or something with, but I was already parked. So I was parking. I see him fall flat on his face, his phone on the street. And meanwhile, he got on his feet, and I got out of the car. I went to his camper with him. We climbed up the hill together, gently off the hill, of course, this time. Checked out his camper, and it turned out it was a plastic bumper, and it was just a bit of paint, white paint, Penelope paint, just a bit paint. It was not even dented. Petra didn't hear it. I mean, I was driving like 1 kilometer or slower backwards, and as soon as I felt I drove into something, I hit the brakes, but it gave a little boop, and that's what bumpers are for, to catch up the little bumps. And I said, well, sorry that I bumped into you like that. I calmed him down. I said, look, it's my fault. I'll even write down that it's my fault because you were parked, and I 100% know that it's my fault, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna write it down, even though the advice is never to write it down. That it's your fault. And when I said that, he was reassured, and he was really excited, I think, looking forward to the payout of the insurance company. And I think if you took a cloth and rubbed a bit on the bumper, you just rub off the white paint, and you're good to go. Or you take a marker and I don't know, but it's not even a dent, and that's what bumpers are for. So the maneuvers he took, I mean, he risked his life. This 70-year-ish old man risked his life climbing up a hill, running down, falling. He could have hurt himself. He could have broken a hip. He could have died just for some insurance money. I mean, that's all what this is about. I mean, if people drove into me, I would say, no problem. I mean, that's just another bump. And also, what happened was, I wasn't ready. I thought I was ready to fill out the paperwork because I had everything in my wallet, but my wallet was in my in the van with Petra. So I went out, and then you have to fill out a whole form and information about what happened, and what's your insurance number, and what's your driver's license number, and all those things. Filling out that damage form, you can do ahead of time. You can already fill that in right now, and then that way you don't have to fill it out the moment it happens, because then you're stressed and you don't know. In case it happens, just fill out those things. Look up those insurance numbers, those document numbers, who your contact is, your address. I couldn't remember my address because it's a post box. I couldn't remember if it was number 31 or 32. So at that moment, your mind is racing, and then you're trying to fill in those details, and the other person also didn't know his details. So it helps to be prepared, and if you fill in the details ahead of time, then you only have to fill out the situation. And that is what we can take away from this here. So be prepared, fill out your information beforehand. Even you think it will never happen to me, just fill it in, and then you're prepared. And also a lesson is, don't risk your life for some insurance money. It was really strange to see, and I think of all what happened, I'm most stressed about seeing that man fall on the street, off the hill.
Yes, you really toppled over there.
So if you hurt yourself, you can't drive the camper van anymore. So you have an extra responsibility to be careful and not do like crazy stunts or anything. But especially this, like, yeah, what I said, 70 years old or something, and still taking those kind of risks. That's really, yeah, that was shocking for me to see.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can believe that he thought I was driving off. I mean, maybe I would have thought that too if I would see someone pulling out. But I wouldn't have run across a busy highway to follow him.
No.
I mean, that's a bit, yeah, that was a bit shocking to see that. So if he was just a bit more patient about the whole thing, then it would have been a lot less stressful for me and Petra, but also for him.
Yep.
I mean, who knows how, yeah, I don't know if he was hurt. Sometimes you fall and then later on you notice that you hurt yourself worse than you think. So if you're watching, dear sir, please be careful next time. And even if I would have driven off, it was not worth your health at your age to come after me by rolling down a hill. I hope you're alright and enjoy your insurance money. Maybe you can donate it to the Penelope Brake Lines Fund. So maybe then we would have stopped quicker. Okay, buddies. Talk to you next time. Stay safe. Be in the moment. And don't rush like we did. It was your fault, right?
No.
Let's be honest. It was your fault.
No.
The camera's off. You can tell. Whose fault was it?
You were driving.